Hello everybody, my name is Thomas Childs. Welcome to my YouTube channel, RVing Off the Grid. This is a video that hopefully you can kind of get to know me and my YouTube channel in terms of the channel's goals and future plans. I am an avid RV user. I just love to travel around the country camping in a 12-foot by 7.5-foot camping trailer for months at a time. Visiting, studying, absorbing, and appreciating our beautiful national parks, monuments, and other areas of interest. If you are into RVing or plan to get into it, you may want to tune into my videos a bit. I will be offering advice and insight into the whole RVing experience. But before I tell you about the topics that I plan to cover, let me tell you a little bit about my background. I need to do this because RV users are a very diverse group of people, kind of like Americans are a diverse group of people. Just as if you picked 5 Americans at random and asked them, what's life in the United States like, you might get 5 different answers. I think if you picked 5 different RV experts and asked them what RVing is like, you would probably also get 5 very different answers. Sometimes I think the only thing that RVers really have in common is that we have and use RVs. I encourage you to get views from multiple sources. My background. I bought my camping trailer, the one that I still use to this day, 39 years ago. The year was 1985. Back then, Ronald Reagan was president. Back to the Future was a new movie. And I still looked like a middle school student, even though I was in my mid-20s at the time. Now I know what some of you are probably thinking. You're probably thinking, who is this guy? He's only had his camper 39 years. Most people have had their campers longer than that. Well, it has been pointed out to me by some people that there are a number of RV users who have had their RVs less than 39 years. So if you fit into this group, you might want to tune in to my videos. Number 2. I substantially rebuilt my trailer. For the first 6 years, I would tear it apart, rebuild it, then put it back together again, then take a trip. Then I would tear it apart, put it back together again, take another trip. So it gradually got newer and newer. For the first 6 years, I rebuilt it on an as-needed basis. I rebuilt the floor, replaced the top, including roof rafters, replaced the frame, the windows, the door, the aluminum siding. You know the expression, you made your bed, now sleep in it? Well, I actually made my bed, and I do sleep in it. It is really quite comfortable. Here's some pictures of me making the bed. Oh my goodness, look at that hair. It ought to be illegal to have hair like that and walk around in public. I should have had it cut off and made a wig out of it. Then I could wear it once in a while and say, it's really my hair. Well, let's get back to making the bed. I selected and installed all the appliances myself, thus designing my own electrical and appliance system. Number 3, I camp exclusively off the grid, meaning I do not plug into municipal electricity, ever. It is not unusual for me to go months at a time without plugging into municipal electricity at all. Yet, I still have and use my lights, TV, stereo, DVD, CD player, fridge, furnace, a kitchen blender, power tools, laptop. I charge batteries for my camera, cell phone, and external power pack. 4, I camp alone with my dog. Many people travel as husband-wife teams. Some people even travel as entire families with children. If you camp with other people, you are going to need more room than if you camp by yourself. 5, I do not RV full-time. I've spent about 10% of my life living in the camping trailer since I bought it. However, since I did buy it 39 years ago, that comes to quite a bit of camping. So far, my camping amounts to the equivalent of 4 years of full-time RVing experience. 6, I camp and rebuilt my trailer on a shoestring budget. Anybody who tells you that you need $10,000 for solar panels is really full of BS. I was able to do it for, I think, around $700, but that doesn't include the appliances. It just includes the basic electrical system. And I'm sure you could do it too, if you put your mind to it. So, what will I make videos on? Packing. What are the items that an RV should be packed with? I'm going to make you a pack list, especially for people who newly acquire an RV. You do not want to be caught in the woods without a peeler, a spatula, a butane lighter. It would be nice if it lit. It does. It's a little bit windy, folks. Or a salt shaker. I'll make a video for you on acquiring the right items. How about ride stabilization? Every time you take a ride, you subject your RV and its contents to the equivalent of a major earthquake, and you may do this a couple times a week, maybe even more. It is very important that you pack items in such a way that stuff doesn't just spill all over the place, or bottles don't break, or cupboards don't open. So I'll make one video unpacking it. Come on, can't the tape work right? This is gonna have more bloopers than possibly imagined. Okay, there. Okay. The one thing you do not want to do is spill oil. Oh my gosh, cooking oil, olive oil. So I'm gonna tell you how to stabilize right. I'll make videos on the day-to-day chores of RV living, such as washing dishes, doing laundry. Now I'm gonna try washing them in the bucket. Tedious, indeed. But what are you gonna do? Bathing and showering, using a bush toilet. I won't demonstrate use of the toilet, but I will show you how to make a simple bush toilet for about $20. What's this? You may be thinking, I know how to wash dishes. Who am I, an idiot? Well, you probably do, in a regular house or an apartment, where you have an infinite sewer and infinite water coming out of the faucets in two exciting and delicious flavors, hot and cold. But here's something to think about. What if you wanted to wash dishes and your nearest source of water was 20 miles away, and you had to drive a round trip of 40 miles, take jugs, take water in the jugs, and then when you get back to your campsite, you kind of have to conserve the water because it's so hard to get. Might washing dishes be a little bit different? Well, I know many of these tricks. RVing is a lot of work. I tend to think that the daily household chores all take at least twice as much effort and time in an RV as they do in a regular house. So if you're going to try RVing and haven't done it yet, that's something you may want to take into consideration. Here is an interesting anecdote that drives home this point. Once when I was camping in Yellowstone National Park, there was this tent trailer nearby, and I noticed flickering yellowish white light in it at night. In the evening, the sun had gone down. I then realized why. The owner had decided not to bother with electricity at all, and he was lighting his camper with candles. Too much bother electricity is sometimes. I won't be doing much video on the topic of RV electricity because I've written a book on the subject entitled RV Electrical and Appliance Systems, Why They Don't Work and How They Could Be Fixed. It's a thick book, it's 1 inch. I would rather have you buy a copy of the book than to have me give you that information for free. I like talking about this stuff and writing about this stuff, but I've already lost $5,000 publishing the book. Authors do not make much money. They lose it. But a few sales would be greatly appreciated because they would help soften my financial losses from being an author. To learn more about or buy a copy of my book, visit my website at https://rvingoffthegrid.com. Notice the RVing Off the Grid, that's also my YouTube channel. You can also download a free 30-page book sample of this book, and you can contact me at the website with questions. Or you can email me at rvingoffthegrid@gmail.com. Psychology of RVing. What kind of a person hitches up a camping trailer or takes a motorhome, moves into it, and drives thousands of miles away and disappears for months at a time? Why would anybody want to do that? Does one get lonely? Does one get homesick? What happens when you spend holidays such as Thanksgiving or Christmas all by yourself? Well, believe it or not, there are remedies or psychological tricks that I've learned over the years for dealing with these issues, and I'll make some videos on these. The dark side of RVing. RVing does have a dark side. It's not all bliss and fun and games all the time, the way some might like you to think. Anyone who tells you otherwise is either a liar, an RV salesman, or somebody who has never actually RV'd. I won't be glum. I'll tell you some of the wonderful aspects as well. And believe me, there are some wonderful moments of RVing. Camping policies and rules. What are the procedures for registering and paying for a campsite? When and where can you camp without registering or paying? When do you need a reservation? How has Reserve America been ruining the camping experience? And believe me, they have been ruining the camping experience. Driving prices into the stratosphere, among other things. How have camping attitudes and policies changed over time? Remember, I bought my camper almost 4 decades ago, but I actually go back even further. Back in the 1960s, I camped with my parents and brother in a small trailer, so I have observed changes over time. RV repair and rebuilding. In addition to remodeling my camping trailer, I have made a number of emergency repairs on the road. Unfortunately, I never make videos of these emergency repairs because I want to fix things, and making a video is usually the least of my concerns at the time. I can tell you stories about my early repair days of the RV. I have a bunch of still photos that I can show you as a sort of a slideshow. They like to call it slideshows when you travel stories. I have many interesting travel stories to tell you. How about the time I got lost in the Okefenokee swamp and had to be rescued? How about the time I went backpacking in Florida and the forest ahead of me in the direction that I was walking had a strange glow? There was a forest fire, and I had to decide whether to move forward or backward. Did you know that I toasted 2 tow vehicles crossing the Rocky Mountains? And when toasted, I mean burned up, had to throw them away. One on the way out and one on the way back. I like to tell myself that you are not an experienced RVer until you have burned up at least 2 vehicles crossing the Rocky Mountains. Look at these flowers. Isn't this a wonderful place to make a video? I mean, come on. Anyway, places I've visited. While RVing, never lose sight of why we do it. To experience great beauty. I will show you videos and still photos of many beautiful places that I visited. Well, that's a wrap. I hope to make many interesting videos. But remember, as of this date, June in 2024, I am still losing money on my book selling business. So making videos and YouTubing is not really a priority for me. Sometimes I just want to go walk my dog, go camping, or make household repairs, or just enjoy life. If you want to see videos, you're going to have to show some enthusiasm. And that means leave some likes, leave some comments, ask some questions, email me, subscribe, or for heaven's sake, maybe some people should buy a book once in a while to help me pay my bills. This is a mission for me, you know? I wanted to give RVers a voice. I wanted to write a book that was written by an RVer and not by the RV industry itself, not a commercial. I have no financial ties to the RV industry. I've made a big sacrifice in writing this book, and I have no regrets. Thank you for watching. I'm RV camper Thomas Childs. And while we're here, they say take some time to look at the flowers. I am by the Erie Canal in the city of North Tonawanda. Tonawanda is right across the canal there. Let's see if we can see the bridge.